This is day 4 of our 10-day Improve Your Salsa Challenge. Today's lesson is all about how to use the arms in coordination with your Cuban motion and the torso movement that we worked on in the previous 2 lessons. This is one of the most requested subjects that I get because a lot of people feel very uncomfortable using their arms while they're dancing, and I found that that insecurity just stems from a lack of knowledge, not knowing exactly what to do. So I'm here today to solve that issue for you, give you some specific information on how to use your arms while you're dancing salsa so that you can practice it and incorporate it into your dancing. Now let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start by just doing our Cuban motion exercise just to get our base set. So we're bending and straightening the knees and tilting the pelvis just like we did in the last 2 videos. And now I'm gonna add my torso movement on top of that. Now, as I do that, instead of keeping my hands down like we did in the previous video, I'm gonna hold them here around belly button height, fingers pointing in so that my elbows are going outward. And I'm gonna really try to maintain this position with the arms as I move my torso. I don't wanna allow the arms to change position or location at all. I really am going to try to keep them right in one place. So I start with my Cuban motion, and then I start to move my torso, my rib cage and my shoulder, keeping the hands right in place, elbows out to the side. So you can feel the resistance that's being created from keeping the hands and the arms in place. If you find that it's difficult for you to not move the hands, I recommend you put your hands on a chair or a countertop that's around the height of your belly button so you can feel what it's like to really hold the hands in place. And then once you've internalized that feeling, you can go ahead and step away and try and create that on your own. Sometimes even just the image of having something to hold on to will help. So let's try that one more time. Using the knees, the hips, the rib cage and the shoulder, and keeping the arms and the hands where they are. Moving the body will create the illusion that the hands and arms are moving, but indeed they are staying still. So what you'll notice is when my elbows stay right where they are, when I move one side of my rib cage, what naturally happens is it feels as though the elbow is going behind me just because I'm leaving it behind and taking my body forward. This is the feeling that we're going to piggyback on as we start to learn how to move the arms in coordination with the body. So I want you to do that one more time and feel that stretch, that the elbow, although it's out to the side, is behind my body as I bring it forward. And stretch, 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 stretch. Making sure that elbow's staying out to the side. What we want to avoid is bringing it with you. This is the opposite of what we're trying to create today. Okay? So now, leaving this one where it is, if I'm sending this side forward, I'm going to think about bringing the opposite hand over to meet the shoulder or the rib cage, depending on the height you feel comfortable with, to meet that side. So the opposite hand is coming over to meet the side that's coming forward, and this arm of the side that's coming forward is staying where it is, giving the illusion that it's actually going back. And then I switch. So I'm going to bring this hand that was up down in a circular motion, and I'm going to bring the other one around, taking this out to the side with the illusion of being behind me, and the other hand comes over to meet the side that's coming forward. And I circle down as I switch weight, and other arm. Circle, switch, circle, start to focus not just on the arms, but on any part of the body, the hands are one of the first things to grab onto that tension when we're thinking. So we want to try and shake them out. This is an exercise that my college jazz teacher used to do with us. Shake, 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 and stop. And that's the position your hands should be in. That's what we call human hands. Yeah? So I don't want you to be in a very stylized place with your hands, but I also don't want you to be in the claw. So shake them out, release, human hands. That's where your hands are going to be while you do this exercise. So I go circle, circle. Bring the opposite hand over to meet the side that's coming forward. And switch, 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 and switch. Okay? So we're going to try this now, moving forward and back with the salsa rhythm. So actually I'll start by staying in place. So nice and slow. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And you'll see the movement is very subtle. We don't want the arms to take over. They're just gently responding to what the body's doing. And a little later on in this video, I'm actually going to give a second option for what your arms can do while you're doing your basic. But I really want you to get familiar with this one first. So we're going to start in place. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Keeping your Cuban motion and your torso movement going. 5, 6. Now we move forward. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Moving back. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So now let's try that with music. 5, 6, ready, in place. We go 1, 2, 3. And forward. And in place. And we move back. And in place. And moving forward. And in place. And back. Right. So now, building again on what we did in the previous 2 videos, we're going to practice this arm movement with rock steps. So we're going to do our rock step to the side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. This is often very difficult for people. For some reason, the arm movement makes more sense going forward and backward, and so it's important to practice going to the side because we do move to the side a lot in salsa as well. So we go 1, 2, 3. Again, making sure that you're still honoring your 3 and your 7, even though the feet are just coming together. And then we rock forward. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Rocking back. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now let's try that with music. 5, 6, ready to go to the side. We go 1, 2, 3. Forward. To what the torso is doing, there is a second option for your arms when they are free. That's a little bit more subtle and I think a little more feminine if that's the look you're going for. And that is just to place them out to the side. So I don't want to have the elbows and the arms stuck to my rib cage. I'm going to send them out like a 45-degree angle from my shoulder, and then have my hands just straight out from the elbow. And again, nice human hands. And as I do my torso movement, I'm going to think about keeping the hands right where they are so that you can see a really exaggerated movement in my torso. So option one was to move with the torso, and option two is to keep the hands still so that I'm really just emphasizing the torso movement. So they're both very nice. It depends on what kind of movement you're looking for, what you feel comfortable with. So, and I also think it's good to be able to do both. It's always good to be able to do all the options, and then you can pick which one is right for you. So again, keeping the hands out here, making sure that I'm not squeezed in. I'm also not out here. Another thing is, whenever a dance teacher tells you to put your arm out to the side, they don't mean straight to the side. Because what that does is it kind of shortens the neck and squeezes things together. Whenever we say out to the side, what we mean is a gentle angle forward. So this is a dance side position, not here. Okay, so they're kind of diagonally out in front. I've got space between my rib cage and my arm, and I'm going to do my rib cage movement, keeping the hands fixed as I move my torso. And when I say fixed, I think that has a connotation of being rigid. I don't want your arms to be rigid. I want them to be nice and soft. I just want you to have that imaginary table or two chairs that you're holding on to so that I can really see the movement of your torso. If they move a lot, kind of nondescriptly, so not in the way that I taught in the first section of this video, it can distract from what we're trying to achieve. So we really want to keep them nice and still, soft, but without too much movement in different directions. So now we're going to do the whole routine, staying in place, walking forward, staying in place, walking back, directly out to the side, rocking forward and rocking back, keeping the arms out to the side as we do that. So let's give that a shot with music. 5, 6, ready, we go, in place. And forward. And together, in place. And back. And out to the side. And forward. And back. So that concludes lesson 4 of this 10-day challenge. Great job. Keep practicing, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much for joining me for today's lesson. Leave a comment below and let me know how you did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications for my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Dance Doctor Online. Until next time, keep dancing.